we do face the music. So, it's that the music is going to play life. What we get out of life is whether we face the music or not, how we face the music, whether we will bury our head in the sand and run away from it, but either way, you're going to face life one way or the other, either passively or actively. And the result is going to be what you do, right? So in an hour, and in an hour, in an issue of your life, you are free to think or evade that effort. When life faces you, it's up to you to react, respond, or seemingly be passive. If you're passive, it's as good as reacting. The only way to win is to respond to life, right? The winner's place is to respond to life, is to come in all your awareness, come in all your mindfulness, come in all your consciousness, assess the situation, and address it, right? That's the only way to win in life, right? Life is going to happen to you. Life happens to everybody. It happens to the good, the bad, the ugly. If life happens to you, it's not because you did anything wrong. It's just because it's life, and it's come to grow you, not to kill you. But whether it kills you or grows you is a function of how you face it. Is a function of your foundation. It's a function of your strength, right? The strength with which you face it with, right? But life is going to happen, right? So, so we're free to either react to it, right, or try to escape from it, you know. But the real calling upon us is to think, is to reason, is to engage our mind, to face life. That's the only way to face life, is to engage, right? So the question is to be or not to be. Is the question to be or not to be is the question to think or not to think, right? We face life by engaging our mind, right? And that's related to what we shared last week, talking about mindfulness. It's our mind. When life happens to us, it requires our mind to engage it, you know. I was just thinking about me, I was just thinking about me going through a time of depression, and when life hits you. And one thing, a lot of people that get depressed and similarly get the wrong hand of life, is that mindset when you're more like attuned to wishing. You're trying to wish away the life that has happened to you. That's a defeatist mindset, to be wishing it away. Life is not for the wishing. Life is for the addressing, the facing, right? You can't wish life away. Life is what it is. It's for us to address it. It's for us to understand it and address it, right? Think about what is the best thing to be done and do something. Have a plan of action to face it, right? You can't stop the waves. You can't stop life, but you can learn to surf. You can learn to surf it. You can learn to ride the waves of life, right? Life is going to happen, but it's up to us to learn to surf the waves of life, to triumph in the face of life. You're not going to wish life happening away. Life is going to happen. We have no control around that. What is going to happen will happen. The question is, how do I respond to it? How do I triumph in the midst and in spite of what has happened? Not begin to wish it away, right? That's a defeatist mentality. That's not facing the music of life. Facing the music of life is accepting what is and making the best of it, triumphing over it, riding the wave, surfing the wave, right? So life happens only in the moment. If we're going to face the music, we have to do it one moment at a time, one interaction at a time, one feeling at a time. There's no escaping life. Life is what it is. And you have to be present in the moment to face it, face the feeling, face the challenge, face what is, right? There's no wishing it away. There's no You're not going to gain anything by regretting. You're not going to get anything by anxiety. You're going to have to address every moment of life and win, right? So many difficulties in relationships stem from old habits, right? And we all carry baggage. We talked earlier on, starting talking about the fact that we're broken vessels, right? We're broken vessels. We're earthen vessels that are broken, right? Uh, we're earthen vessels that are broken. Those breakages come with their own baggage also. You know, we we're bent in a particular way because of what we're been through. Someone has disappointed us and we think that everybody's like that. There's women that think all men are these, or men that think all women are these, but that's not true. That's not true. We need to be able to be present in each moment and not stereotype. We need to accept every moment for what it is and live in that moment to address it. If you live a stereotyped life to say, all this or that, I will always do this or I always do that, you will miss out from life. You will not be able to face the music of life because you'll reach circumstances where everything is different and your preconceived way of doing things will not work, and you are going to fall flat on your face, right? Life is about building yourself. You got to build yourself to be able to face whatever it is that life presents you with, right? So it's understanding life itself, uh, gaining knowledge of life itself. For Christians, we learned about God. We learn about who he is, what he wants, and how to please him. It's not about a dogma. It's about understanding him. The only book would say that the letter kill it. The letter kill it. The preconceived dogma kill it. But uh but the spirit gives life, the understanding gives life. That's what the Holy Book would say, that wisdom is a principal thing. Wisdom, wisdom is a principal thing. In all you're getting, get understanding, get the ability to use the wisdom, the chance of life in every circumstance, situation of life, because they're all going to be different. Your ability to have light, your ability to be able to break things down, and understand its different components and be able to address it in the moment will differentiate you out. Your largeness of heart to be able to not be too much in a hurry, but to be able to look at things for what they are, for their merits and demerits, and making the right response, not reaction, will differentiate you. That's what we call emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is not to allow your emotions, make a mess of you. Having your emotions in control in every moment of life. You're making reasonable, well thought out decisions, not just how you feel, but you are responding, not reacting in the moment, every moment, right? You're not being carried away by preconceived biases in your life, right? But you are giving everything the merit it deserves in the moment, right? And that will mark you out, if you can do that, right? Our habitual responses, patterns of both thinking and behaving, that arise when stressful events occur, are what psychologists call coping styles. We've developed ways of responding in different circumstances, and we're keen to it. All right. The problem with keying into those responses is that it involves a bit of stereotyping, right? And you will miss it because the person before you is not the stereotype that your style has always carried. You need to be present in the moment and give uh everybody the merit that they deserve, the benefit of doubt, you know. So, and we'll talk more about this. I will talk about the wiser model on the 7th. But important thing is that we need to be careful of our biases. You know, we need to be accommodated. We have to have a large heart and be able to take people in, but take people in without, not out of fear, not out of sentiment, uh, but we also need to have our boundaries, because you can easily get hurt, you know, if you just take everybody in without boundaries, you know, because there are a lot of people out there that want to hurt you, you know, so you have to have where your boundaries are, and you have to respect your boundaries, you know. You have to have functional boundaries, even as you give people the benefit of doubt. It's often easier to turn away than it is to confront what troubles us, you know. Like as we said earlier on, you know, it's easy to, oh, I've forgiven, I'll move on. Now, face the issue. If you are in pain, tell the person hurt you, you know, just let the person know how you feel, address the issue. If spending time with the person is not moving you forward, spend less time with that person, you know. Don't be, don't deny your feelings. Don't deny the way anything is hurting you. You have to be, take it in, be sincere with yourself, be authentic, be vulnerable, be don't deny the reality of things. Face things the way they are and address them. Do what is right. Do what will help you. Do what will move you forward. Do what will make you a better person. You know, do what will give you peace. Do what will move you towards the goals in your life. You know, many studies have shown that when we avoid confronting challenges in a relationship, not only does the problem not go away, but it only gets worse, right? Uh, yeah. And like I said, people have been married for 25 years, avoiding that challenge until finally someone give them and say, I'm done with this. But you're done with something you have built for 25 years. It's not going to easily go away. It's because you built a monster in 25 years. You have to be willing to unbuild that monster. And it's not going to happen in 1 year. It's going to take some time to happen, you know. So if there are challenges in your life, is to face them. Face them. You don't face them headlong. You know, you have to be wise in facing them also. You have to look for the right environment, uh, the right timing, but face them you must, right? But and we'll talk more about facing them on the 7th as we talk about the wiser model. You know, you have to look at the different facets of the issue and make sure you understand the stakes and the issue before you jump into trying to address it. Again, is Stephen Covey's third habit of highly effective people: seek to understand, you know, seek to understand before you seek for people to understand you. Seek to understand before you seek to be understood. That is critical. That would help you. So one lesson from research is that there are advantages to being flexible in life. You know, the advantages to being present in the moment. If you're not flexible, you're not present in the moment. You've already built one model and you're trying to use that model in every circumstance. You're not going to go far in life. You have to be present in every moment and assess each moment for what it is, you know, and respond responsibly to address the issue at hand. One size does not fit all circumstances and situations of life. Being flexible is an incredible, powerful skill to learn, you know. Uh, our emotions need not be our masters, but what we think and how we approach each event in our lives matter, right? So our emotions, our feelings are controlled by what we think, right? And what we think controls how we feel and what we do and what we say, right? There's a connection amongst that, you know. And the Holy Book would say, as a man thinketh, so he is. If we think right thoughts, we'll have the right feelings, and we'll do the right things, and we'll say the right things, right? So we are in control of our emotions, by the way we think. But it can be incredibly difficult for people to change their automatic emotional response. And it is in the question of willpower intelligence, right? Whatever it's you stored in your subconsciousness, that's the way you normally react to things. You have to it's not going to happen in one day to change that, but it is possible to change. You just have to begin to talk to yourself. It's the way you have interpreted things. It's your belief system. It's a story you have told yourself. If you don't like the way you respond, then you need to begin to talk to yourself. You need to begin to change the way you interpret circumstances. You need to learn from every event to become better. Where you've misjudged, look for the reasons why you made the wrong judgment, and reframe it. Reframe the circumstance. Reframe what happened. Tell yourself, what would I have done differently that would have given a different result, and assimilate that, that would help you when you have to go through similar thing next time, right? So we develop our coping styles early in life. There are habits, there are stories we've stored into our subconscious mind. So often from lessons impacted by families, culture, events of life. And a lot of us never even manage to recognize our coping strategies. Without that recognition, regulation proves impossible. So we have to get to know ourselves. That's what it is pretty much saying. We have developed some habits. We have developed some biases in life. Until you know those habits, those biases, those sentiments, you will not understand your automatic response. In short, you have to get to know yourself for you to become a better person. You have to know what are your biases, what are your bendings that you need to correct, so you can do better, you can live better, right? And as we try to close this, our emotions are much more affected by our thinking than we realize. As we think, it affects our emotions. Men are disturbed not by events, but by the views they take of them, right? So says Epictetus. Amongst, we will look at the whole, not just the part. Know that we too are systems of interdependence, of feelings, of perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness, and all interconnected. So says the Buddha. And it is not what we look at that changes our life. It is what we see. So what we see is determined by what we think, what we're looking for. We'll find what we're looking for, so we can change that by working on the way we think, our mind, and that can make a lot of difference for us. In the book, Robert Waldinger Marcuse, they propose a model called the wiser model of responding, which says that you first of all watch, interpret, you select, you engage, and you